These are the top 10 countries with the most foreign-born immigrants living there, and where the different groups in each country came from, according to a 2013 report by the United Nations. Number 10 is Spain. Romanians are the biggest group of foreign-born in Spain. You'd think it would be Moroccans because of its proximity to Morocco. They're basically neighbors. But Romanians in Spain became more numerous than Moroccans around 2007. Latin American immigrants are also well represented because of the appeal of still being able to speak Spanish. Spain, and every other country on this list, draws immigrants mainly because of its relatively strong economy, although Spain has taken a big hit after the global financial crisis led to the collapse of its housing market. With almost 6.5 million immigrants, Australia is number 9. There are almost 3 times as many Brits living in Australia as the next most prevalent group down under, the Chinese. In fact, out of all the countries in the world, Australia is home to the most British immigrants. Australia's foreign-born population in relation to the rest of the country is pretty large, with more than 1 in 4 of its residents coming from somewhere else. Number 8 is Canada. Even though Canada and America share one of the longest borders in the world, there are only 317,000 Americans living north of its northern border. But Canada is home to the biggest Hong Kong community outside of Hong Kong, and to reciprocate, Hong Kong is home to the most Canadians of any city in Asia. France and its 7.4 million immigrants is number 7 on this list. Its largest immigrant group is from Algeria, which also is its only foreign-born population larger than 1 million people. Algeria was a colony of France for more than a century until it declared independence in 1962, so the ties between the two countries remain deep. Number 6 is the United Kingdom. As an island nation, it's easier for the United Kingdom to regulate immigration. Just like France, the UK's biggest source of immigrants is a former colony, in this case, India, whom Britain ruled until 1947. After Poland joined the European Union in 2004, the number of Poles coming to the United Kingdom increased sharply. The UK is now home to more Polish immigrants than any other country in the world. With 7.8 million immigrants, the United Arab Emirates is number 5 on this list. A staggering 83.7% of the people living in the UAE were born in another country. That's by far the highest rate in the world. Indian, Bangladeshi, and Pakistani workers arrive by the hundreds of thousands each year to help build the UAE, as places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi experience a construction boom unlike any the world has ever seen. 4th is Saudi Arabia's 9 million foreign-born people. Saudi Arabia is right up there with Russia as the world's biggest exporter of oil, which drives its entire economy and attracts millions of immigrants. The vast majority of migrant workers come from the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia, and Africa, and are employed in the agriculture, cleaning, and domestic service industries. With nearly 10 million immigrants, Germany is number 3 on this list. Turks are the largest immigrant group in Germany, a trend that began on a wide scale during a labor shortage in the 1960s and 1970s in West Germany, which the government solved by striking a labor deal with the government of Turkey. The more than 1 million Polish immigrants in Germany makes sense because the two countries are neighbors, and after the fall of the Soviet Union and the Berlin Wall, so does the more than 1 million Russians who were attracted to Germany, like the Poles, because of the strong German economy. Number 2 is Russia with more than 11 million immigrants. All 10 of Russia's largest immigrant groups came from countries that used to be part of the Soviet Union. They come because Russia's economy is stronger than their own, but they're pretty much the only ones arriving. The number of people leaving Russia in 2013 stood at 186,000. That's more than 5 times as many left the country just 3 years earlier, in 2010. And number 1 is the United States of America with more than 45 million foreign-born residents. 1 in every 5 people in the whole world living outside of their country of birth live in the United States. That's a big deal, and is the single biggest reason why the Americans lead the world both economically and culturally. The nearly 13 million Mexicans living in the United States make up the single largest group of immigrants anywhere in the world. Today, Asians, which includes and is driven by Chinese and Indians, are the largest immigrant group coming to America. Thanks for watching. Share your family's immigration story in the comments below, and click on the screen to watch our documentary that runs through the full history of immigration to America, Or watch our video about the 10 biggest construction projects around the world, the mega project endeavors that will continue to fuel immigration to many of the countries on this list. For TDC, I'm Bryce Plank, a descendant of Western European immigrants to the United States.